Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I'm going to be doing a reading for Cancer today. That's Cancer in all placements and is general reading. So, of course, take what resonates, and if it really doesn't, feel free to check out any of my other videos. They're all timeless and all placements. And Jojo made it. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here. And thanks to all of you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm doing a new thing. If you haven't seen my other videos in this series, I'm learning how to read reversals. And I know some people don't appreciate the reversals, but some people do. I actually got a comment on one of my other videos, which was really nice. And I'm doing it because I feel like when the videos that I watch, when they do use reversals, it really fills in the story. It gives more detail, and I really appreciate that. Um, and it's just time to, stretch my wings, get outside my comfort zone and try something new. Just yeah. Um, continue to improve. And I'm at my 2-year mark. So it seems appropriate to I'm coming back around to yeah, just improve essentially. The sun made it. Hello, good morning. So curious to see if the sun card will come out today. um, I sometimes like to throw on a song before a reading. And the song that came on today was I Won't Let You Down. So that gives me hope. Since I've been doing these reversal readings, they've been a little bit yeah, the reversals definitely make things a little more intense. Let's just say that. So so we'll see. I'm going to start with my guardian tarot, my creepy tree friends. I'm going to just do something fairly simple, past, present, future, and then clarify. And so here we go. Here we go. Oh, reversal. Oh, 5 of Swords in reverse. That's actually, I take that as being really good because reversals, you can read them as kind of an exacerbated version of the card, or you can read it as opposite. And for me, it makes more sense to read the opposite meaning. So 5 of Swords, this is the past reversed. I'll get to that in a moment. 4 of Wands in reverse for the present. Okay. And for near future, we have Judgment, Scorpio energy. Clarifying definitely changes the meaning of things. So, but in the past, the 5 of Swords, it's like, it feels like um, moving away from a situation where there might have been some self sabotage. There might have been maybe things are looking up. Someone's deciding to be honest, or you are. That 4 of Wands in reverse, though. Not sure about that. Um, you know, I'm going to read from the book because this is the only way I'm really going to get the meanings of the reversal cards. So, 5 of Swords. Resolution, forgiveness, understanding, and reunion. And so this is in the past, potentially. Everyone's on a different timeline. So, this could even be happening for you right now. But um, the Judgment card speaks to these things as well. Resolution, forgiveness, understanding, and reunion. I like that. In the present, we have the Four of Wands. La la la. Where are the wands? Here we go. In reverse, we have transition, tension, change, and instability. Uh, so even though things in the past came to a close, things were resolved potentially. Um, God, my brain does not hang on to things very well. When I'm first learning forgiveness, understanding. It's like, it's that idea that you can forgive a thing. You can understand why something happens. It doesn't mean you can forget. It doesn't mean you condone certain behavior. And so it feels like in the present, there's still tension. There's still a transition to maybe a feeling of complete resolution or finally moving on, something like that. There is change. There's change that's happening. This could be inner change. This could be usually when we go through our internal change, then it reflects in our outer world as well. And it can be vice versa. So, and with judgment, coming up, there's some kind of reckoning, some kind of, it's making a judgment call. It's looking at the past and possibly renewing something, a connection, a situation. It's kind of like that spiral where you come back to the place you started, but you're at a different point, you're at a different understanding, or you're taking the time to understand. Anyway, let's clarify with what deck am I going to use? How about, yeah, I'm going to go with the Dreaming Way Tarot. Gumbo says hi. Hello, Gumbo. Gumbo the kitty. Is Gumbo watching? Apparently, I have a kitty fan. Several. My girls. My girls too. All right. So in the past, we have this Five of Swords reversed, clarified by the Ten of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. There was some kind of, whatever situation you were dealing with, it became very heavy. And this could have been kind of a labor of love, uh, something that you felt very strongly about, something involving collaborating with others. But it left you feeling depleted. It left you kind of in this place of realizing that maybe somebody was draining your resources, your money, your energy, your time, your love. And it just became really heavy. It was too much, and you realized that you needed to put that burden down. It could have, and because of this Five of Swords in reverse, it was like you were putting up with something, but you were feeling resentful about it. Um, you understood that things weren't right, but for whatever reason, you couldn't you couldn't stop what you were doing. You had to finish your project. There, whatever reason you had for continuing in some kind of situation, it brought you to this place where you finally said, I'm done. I'm not carrying this burden anymore. I'm depleted, and I need to fill myself back up. There was a need to retreat, and that's what you did. But in doing that, started healing yourself. You started understanding your part in things, that you contributed to this situation somehow. There's a lot of kind of self reflection in this reading, and sort of understanding your part in things, taking responsibility for yourself, because that's where you gain your power. That's where you can make changes in your life, when you step out of the victim role and acknowledge where you can make the changes. And so you decided to forgive, to resolve things in this situation within yourself, knowing that it was going to help you to make the changes that were necessary. So in the present, we have the Four of Wands, clarified by the Four of Pentacles. Sorry, Four of Wands in reverse, clarified by the Four of Pentacles, and the Hermit in reverse. That's Virgo energy. You or someone you're dealing with could have Virgo in your chart. Um, Let me look at this Hermit in reverse. Typically, the Hermit is about going within. It's about being solitary and doing that inner work. So it makes me think maybe you've come to a place where you're ready to start kind of interacting with people again, with the world. You've gained the wisdom that you were looking for. You've shined a light, and you've illuminated something. Something's become clear. Let me look. What's the number? 9. Oh, okay. So no. Well, according to this particular book, because that's the thing with the Hermit, is it is about gaining the clarity, gaining that enlightenment. So in reverse, this is saying isolation, foolishness, withdrawal, and depression. This could be the fallout from what happened in the past, because you were working on forgiving, on resolving what had happened, but maybe it was something where it it brought up a lot of stuff in you, a lot of feelings and conflicting emotions. And maybe you've been trying to go within, maybe, but you've, instead of, there's this sense that you struggle. You struggle with taking responsibility versus feeling like a victim. There's a part of you that feels wronged. You feel like you have been needing to hold on to what you have left, because you have been so depleted. And there's a constrictive energy, it's a protective energy, but it's gone, you've gone overboard with it. You've it, see, that's the thing with the Four of Pentacles, is it's like it can be about what's the word, it's like um the word frugal comes to mind. I don't like that word exactly, but it's like being very um selective about who and how you share your resources and use your resources. But it can also be this energy of the miser where you're holding on really tightly. And because of this energy, it's like you feel foolish. You're getting down on yourself for what happened. Rather than taking it's like trying to take responsibility but then getting mad at yourself, blaming yourself. And there's a need to understand that what happened was a part of the lesson, that it's not about blame, it's not about fault necessarily. It's just about learning to how to show up in a new way, how to have your own back and not let something take you down, because you're getting caught in the past. That's the thing with depression. It's it's dwelling on the past and feeling so badly about it that you get stuck. You potentially are feeling stuck, but that's the thing with the 4 of Wands. Let me go back go go back to the Wands. I will get this eventually. You're going through this transitionary period. I think that you are coming to terms. You're going back and forth between these 2 things where you're like you're getting down on yourself and then you're like, "Wait a second, wait a second. This isn't helping me. This is making me feel bad. I need to change how I show up." This is about getting yourself raising your vibration, getting yourself into a more positive place. Uh, it's about understanding that whatever instability you're feeling about the change that you're going through, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it's it's m- it's moving you to a new it, or it it's understanding that you have the power to create your circumstances on based on your energy. Like I said, your vibration. This is about finding the things that lift you up. Abraham Hicks talks about being in the vortex, and the vortex is this place where you feel connected. It's that place where you feel so good, and it's the highest energy and love and abundance and joy that you can possibly feel. We all feel this from time to time where it's just like nothing can get you down. um that song, I Won't Let You Down. This is about you making friends with yourself and forgiving. I think this is about forgiving yourself, learning to be okay with what has happened, because in the near future we have the judgment, right? And so let's clarify that. And we've got the 8 of Wands reversed and the 4 of Cups. See, here you are, you're looking at there's either no forward movement or there's feeling stuck. Right, no forward movement, or it's very slow movement. um because you're unhappy. There's a lot of working through some stuff, probably stuff that you've had since childhood, where you're like, okay, maybe it's one of those things like self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, God, these things just keep happening to me. I'm not satisfied with what I have. I keep trying and putting my effort into things. Ooh, happy Bubble made it. Yay, hello. And Rest Mojo. Thanks for being here. Um and it's being really dissatisfied, and so it's bringing you to this place where you're like, okay, I'm the common denominator. Why does this keep happening? Why do I keep ending up in these situations where things are stalled or stuck? Let me look at the 8 of Wands here. um Frustration, delay, mistakes, confusion. And you're like, like you keep hitting this wall and you're like trying to figure this out, and finally you're like, okay, what in the world? Why? Why? And coming to some realization, coming to the understanding of how you can successfully move forward, where you're not repeating your mistakes, where you're not creating that self-fulfilling prophecy that keeps you in the same cycle over and over again, where your resources are not being depleted and you're carrying this heavy burden. This is about change. This is the transformation that you're going through, and it's going to get to a point. There could be a catalyst, or there could just be a point when you finally are like, "Ugh, okay, this isn't working." It makes me think of Byron Katie. She wrote a book called The Work, um, and has a whole program around it. She's written several books actually, but um, it's all about really honestly looking at yourself, asking yourself these 4 questions. I can't remember them at the moment, but it's like, well, it's like, is okay. You look at your situation, and you're saying something to yourself. Um, this this thing always happens, or I always end up in this situation, and you ask yourself, like, is this true? Is this really true? Like, whatever judgments you're making about yourself. And it's like, and then you, I don't know, look it up. You can just Google it, and it's a form of introspection, of self, what's the word? It's it's a way to focus your self-reflection, so that you really start to get honest with yourself. You remove yourself from the story, from the that kind of victim mentality that so often keeps us stuck. And I'm able to talk about this because I have mastered being a victim in my life. And I have gotten to the point, I've gone through this similar kind of situation, gone through these cycles over and over again, where I finally was like, I'm, this is it. I've had enough. I'm done. I'm done being a victim. So that's how I can talk about this. That's how I can talk about anything when I do these readings, because I'm like, oh, yeah, I recognize this. I get it. I've been through this, and I'm still going through it. It's a lifelong process, but I feel like for you in particular, you're you're waking up, you're looking, this being is looking beyond what's directly in front of them. Looking Instead of looking down at what you're unhappy about, looking out to the horizon. There's something here about resurrection. You're resurrecting your demons, or it's like this need. You're going to come to a point where you just start examining everything that you thought you had laid to rest. It's all coming back, because it needs to be examined. It needs to be looked at in a new way, rather than looking down and feeling dissatisfied. It's like seeing it from a place of hope. from a place of understanding, which ultimately is really good, is really empowering. This is mm, it's definitely a journey. That is, it can be quite intense, and yet you have it in you. You're going to get to that place where you're like, you have that epiphany, or you have that shift. This change is, it's happening within you, and you will transition to the next phase. I'm gonna pick a card. It's inner wisdom cards from Wayne Dyer. Pick a card. This is kind of a little bit of advice. Oh, who got this? Someone else got this card too. I don't remember. I forgive everyone, including myself. There it is. All right, this is really hard to see with these lights shining in my eyes. I don't know if that's helping. Forgiveness is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself on the spiritual path. If you can't learn to forgive, you can forget about getting to higher levels of awareness. Forgiveness of others starts with forgiveness of yourself. And this is about you getting to higher levels of awareness. It's tough. It's a tough journey, but you've got the strength to get there. And when you do, look, it's like, look, there's this cage here. You're stuck in the cage as long as you keep blaming, as long as you keep pointing that finger. This is about you realizing the three fingers pointing back. It's You're blaming yourself more than anyone else when you point that finger. And it's not about blame. It's about freedom. Yeah. Forgiveness is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself on the spiritual path. This is a major spiritual awakening that you are going through. This could be a dark night of the soul. This is incredible spiritual growth. It is not, it pretty much is never comfortable. It's never easy, but it's necessary. And oh my God, when you get to the other side, it's freedom. It brings you the joy and the excitement and the ability to look up and look up to the sky, look up and see things differently than looking down and feeling stuck and stagnant. So, all right. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks again so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.